Hi Flosstube, I'm Jennifer. Welcome to Stitching with the Waves. This is my channel about cross stitch, and I've got a lot of fun stitching to do to show you today. I didn't really do any FFOing or anything in the last week because I got kind of consumed with new starts. Oops. I was trying to keep that under control, but somewhere it went off the rails. So I have all that to show you, and it's been about a week since my last video. It's May. It's Friday. It's near the end of May. It's the 20-something of May. We're still doing school. I see all these posts going up on social media from friends who are like, yay, we made it to the last day of school. I'm like, we have to make it till June 10th. So we've still got, I think about 3 weeks left to go. And we're just trudging along through. It's a really cloudy, cool day today. So I thought it'd be a good day to get a video in before the long weekend. And let's just jump in with cross stitch, get started. So I don't remember if I showed you, this one might be a new start that you haven't seen yet, but I kind of think I had started it last Friday and showed you. So Friday I'm doing kind of a Freebie Friday thing. I'm going through all my free patterns and just gonna start stitching them on Friday. So right now I'm working on this Be Well and Stitch one from Heartstrings Samplery Beth Twist, and changed up some of the colors of that one. So worked on it a little bit this morning and all week last Friday. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna have to stay back here-ish. Like I said, super cloudy, rainy day today, so I just have the overhead light for the most part, and that is making it not so easy to film. But I changed this up. Can I go in? Well, maybe I can go in a little bit closer. It is so hard to see what I'm doing on this camera. Okay, so for the heart shape there in the middle, I just wish it would focus closer up. In the very center of the heart shape, they wanted you to alternate the lighter and darker color. But I didn't fill the very center in with the lighter color because I wanted it to have more of that black work look. Sorry, my youngest is playing with her markers very loudly right next to the table. Okay, I'm recording a video. You're gonna hurt their ears. Sorry to all the people wearing headphones. So I wanted it to have more of kind of that black work look like the center has on the pattern here, rather than it looking like a completely filled in cross stitch heart. So I just left the fabric color showing through in the very center, so it would give you more of that like lattice work, black work look. And just working my way around on all the little vine and everything, moving along. So I'll continue to stitch on that one on Fridays until it's done, and then I'll pick a new Freebie Friday pattern.
She's only into stitching.
I'm only into stitching?
Yes.
I did a little diamond painting with you. Okay.
Never want to do anything else.
I know, because I like stitching. Okay, let's talk about June. So on Saturdays, I'm doing like a seasonal Saturday thing and working on some of my seasonal pieces. So this is my monthly cottage from Fleur de Lin. She has a French shop website online where you can purchase all these little monthly cottages. So the little brown cat there in the center, I switched up and stitched over one. I did full crosses using my Gutermann thread. Our cat is black, our family cat, and so I changed it up to make her a little black cat instead, because I can't have a brown cat, our cat's black. And what else did I change? Changed all the colors to blues. At this point, all I have left is to work on filling in the last like 2.5 lines of grass. It just got too late last week and I just could not get this done. So this week I will finish that up and then switch over to working on my summer sampler banner.
Don't tell the names. I'm going to fix everything because they're going to end up only doing stitching for the whole week.
Don't tell them all my plans because then I'll just stitch all week long. I'm gonna stitch all week long whether I tell them my plans or not. So next up on Saturdays, I stitch on Kringles. I don't know why I'm showing you the pattern. It's from Little House Needleworks. I'm sure everybody under the sun is stitching this, so I'm sure you've already seen it. And let's see if I can hold this up behind it. Need to get a bigger board. So Kringles, I have almost completely finished the entire structure of the shop. I just have that window, the center in the first floor down there. And my plan for that one is to just go ahead and stitch the whole entire thing because that's the front doors, which are really, you know, kind of the exterior. So that will be the first panel that I fill in. Super excited about that one. I can't wait to pick that up again on Sunday and start working on that. Yay. I'm really happy I got through all of the structure of it. That's just fantastic. So now comes the fun part, which I think is going to slow down because all of these rooms are full of like either little like sweets and cakes and candies or full of toys and that sort of thing. And there's, you know, a bunch of tiny little color changes that you have to make. And you put in just a few stitches of one color and then you got to switch to another. So I think that's going to really slow me down on it, but I'm excited to be getting to that part. So that's kind of the fun part, is to stock all the little rooms. All right, so then Maynia. I kind of switched up my Maynia plans again, and I had like plan A, and then I kind of switched to plan B, and now I'm back to plan A. So I've been stitching little pieces to fill up my printer's tray back here on the wall. And my original plan was to stitch 10 pieces and fill 10 boxes with other things like patterned fabrics and little trinkets and stuff. So I started stitching on the project and it went so quickly that I thought, oh, well, I'll just stitch 20 and still fill, you know, boxes with other stuff as well. And my box will be nearly full and it'll be fantastic. But I mean, I never intended to completely fill the tray in a month. I thought this is going to be like a year-long project. I just wanted to get it kickstarted in May and then kind of work on it throughout the year, you know, stitching 1 or 2 boxes per month and filling it as I go. I just thought Maynia would be a great way to get a kind of a jump start on it. So when it, you know, and then when it started stitching up so quickly, I changed the plan to fill a bit more. So I realized I could stick with that and do that and kind of finish the tray now, or I could go back to plan A and also spend the rest of May kind of doing some new starts and some other things that I really want to stitch. So I ended up going with that plan instead because I caught the itch to start some new things. So I'll show you my Pinterest tray pieces first. So I'm going to do 10 of them. Let me just kind of fold it in half here. So I think I've showed these before, ABC, and then 2 longer panels right there, and a little tea set. And then on this side, I have D, E, another long trim panel there. This is the one I was working on last week. I got that finished up. That'll go in one of the like larger rectangles. And then I started also to go in a larger rectangle, this little circular motif. And I don't know, I'm not in love with this one. I started stitching this floral ring in different colors, in the pinks and the greens, so it would kind of go with the alphabet, and pull the pinks and greens into another motif in the box. But I don't know that I'm in love with it. I think I'm going to keep going just because I have so much of it already stitched. And I'll go ahead and fill the tray with it and then, you know, give it some time finished, because it really doesn't take that much time to finish these. And they do stitch up pretty quickly. So I'll get it in there and see, and then when I see it all together with all the other pieces in there, if I decide I don't like it, I'll pull it out and stitch something else and do something different with this little piece. But for now, that's where it's at. So this is piece number 10. So I fit them all onto one piece of fabric. So as soon as I'm finished stitching that one, which will hopefully be this coming week, I would be able to cut all of these apart and start getting them FFO'd on the sticky board with batting and get them inserted in my tray. So I'm hopeful that when I record a video next week, I'll have some pieces in there. But we all know how slow I am at FFOing, so we'll see if that actually happens. All right, I'm running out of space here. The table is just covered in stuff. Oh, everything is just a mess with stuff everywhere because so many people are home doing so many projects. All right, so this one, I'm gonna have to insert the picture of it finished. I don't have a printout and I'm filming on my phone, so I can't just hold my phone up for you. But this is a piece that I had seen on a French blog that I read. And the woman didn't come up with it. I just seen it, she was stitching it. It was a stitch along that another blogger was doing. And she didn't have a direct link to it. So I've seen her, she stitched, it's a seasonal thing. She had stitched the spring version. And then I just saw, I think they're on part 4 of the stitch along. So I've seen it come up a few times with the summer version. And as I had seen it come out, it was like earlier this week. I'm like, all right, that's it. She has the name of the person, you know, like the person's first name, and no link to that person's blog or website or whatever. So it's like, it's time to Google. I'm going to figure out where this is and see how I can do it and see how I can stitch it. So I did, found it, I Googled it up. The blog translates to Stroll Along the Seasons. Flannery de Fil de Saison? Flannery au Fil de Saison, I think. I don't know. Something like that. Stroll Along the Seasons, I think, is what Google Translate tells me that means in French. And the woman's name is Mimi. So the way the Stitch Along works is you sign up for the Stitch Along by making a comment on the post on her blog, and she emails you the PDF file. And then you sign up for the newsletter, and when she is releasing a new section of the Stitch Along, it'll email it to you. And you just stitch that up. So it's got, I think, 6 sections for the summer version. And, oh, did I say I was going to insert a picture? I said I'm going to have to insert pictures. But anyway, so I'm working on summer. So I'll put summer, the picture of summer here. And you can see in the picture up near the top above the word été, which is summer, there's a little spot that's blank. That's because you have to stitch the first 6 parts. Then you email her a picture of them stitched up, and she will send you part 7. It's kind of her way, I guess, of making sure that people who are, getting the pattern are actually completing it. And that's just how she runs her Stitch Along. So just if you're interested in this at all, I want to make sure that's out there, that you know that little caveat of it. So this is summer. So here's what I have started so far for it. There we go. So I just have the word. I just worked on this for a day, and it is coming right along. So I'm stitching this on 40 count. And I think it is Beach Brew. 40 count Beach Brew from R&R. And my plan is to make this into a little drum. I really want to try and do a little drum finish. I'll do one for each of the seasons, and then I have like a round tray where I'm trying to get some little seasonal things so I can decorate that tray for each of the seasons. And I've watched Lana's drum tutorial. It looks like something I think I could probably figure out, hopefully, fingers crossed. So that's my plan for this one. And then she did do the spring SAL, which I'll post here. She had that running earlier this year. So I'll put in the picture of that so you can see what that one looks like. So I'm planning to stitch that one up as well. As soon as I get summer done, I'll jump in and start that one just so I can catch up. And I believe she'll be posting the other seasons coming up. But right now, the next one coming up that I found on her blog is Noel. So I'll insert the picture of Noel here. And that's gonna be a Christmas stitch along that starts, I forget exactly when it starts, but it does start soon. I will put in the description box below the link to her blog so you can look through there and find the post to comment on if you're interested in stitching these. If I forget to do that, because I've been really bad about it lately, the post usually ends up uploading at like some random time, and then I forget to go back and add it in the description box. You can always just post in the comments, be like, hey, can I get the link? And that will kind of kick my butt in gear to get that done for you. All right, so there's that one. And then my big one, oh, you guys. So I got 101 alphabets. I think I showed this back in probably my January video. I got it for either Christmas or my birthday. I put it on my wish list, and I got this one. It's from Rosewood Manor, and it's literally 101 alphabets, and then also a whole bunch of other little motifs, animals, flowers, geometric motifs, all sorts of things. It is crazy. So in the beginning here, or on the back, it says the artist statement. So this is Karen Kluba from Rosewood Manor. And she says, I designed this sampler over 10 years ago and have stitched it off and on ever since. So if you guys remember last year, if you watched my previous videos, and have been watching for a while, I showed Ink Circles Garden Stars, which took me 12 years to stitch. It was a big one. I forget the stitch count on it, but it was a big piece. And I got married and had 2 kids right after starting it. So it took me 12 years to finish it. Last year, I finally pulled it out and said, I am more than 3/4 of the way done with this thing. It's got to get done. And I just focused on it and put it in my rotation. It was like, I got to get this thing finished. So I did. I'm kind of afraid this is going to be another, 10, 20 year long piece. here's my start. This is one day. I got the vine and I got part of the first alphabet in there. You see it better back here. You probably see it better back here. This is on 40 count beach brew. I got 40 count because I didn't want the size to be too out of control. If I do ever finish it, I would like to be able to actually find a big enough wall space to hang it. So let me give you a little unfolding here. Might have to stand up for this one. Let's see. Oh. Not quite. Okay, there, you can kind of see the bottom corner on the far side over there. It's monstrous. It's huge piece of linen. This is cut down, it'll have a 3-inch border. This is how big it's gonna be. The stitch count's 49 by 49. So just ridiculously massive. I was gonna do this too. So when I started Kringles, I was like, oh gosh, Kringles is gonna, it's a huge piece. It's also on 40 count. I have Kringles on 40 count Liberty Gathering Gray. And here you go. This is like where Kringles fits, right? I don't have enough hands to do this. But you want to come be a hand? Okay, she's gonna come hold up that corner that's hanging down over there. See it? Okay, so there you go. Yeah, no, the top corner. Hold the top corner up. There you go. So that's, Kringles is like little less than a quarter of it, or a little more than a quarter of it. Probably a third of it. So it is a voicemail that came in at the phone. I forgot airplane mode before I started, so now we're gonna pay for it. Anyway, this is huge, absolutely huge. I'm glad I started it, and my plan is to just keep it, one day a week. I'll work on this, and slowly but surely, it'll get done. All right, so there's that. A little bit of haul. When I ordered the fabric, because obviously I did not have a big enough piece of fabric for stitching 101 alphabets, I had ordered a piece for that. I ordered a full yard, so I ended up with just a little tiny strip left over after that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I ordered these 5 colors, variegated blues of Classic Colorworks while I was on ordering that as well. So I just wanted to have some more blues. So I just tried to pick online colors that looked like they were very, very variegated. Some of the overdyed threads just don't have a ton of variegation in them, and I was looking for some that were really variegated. So I've got Tyler Boy Blue, is this one. Granny Annie, is this one. Stormy Night. It's got a lot of grays and some blue, kind of greeny as well in there. Mermaid Fin, just like a bright blue and some green. And Wavy Navy. So just trying to build up my collection. So 101 alphabets, you can see it's got a lot of different colors there in it. My plan is for this, when you look at the overall thing, to be blue. So I'm going to be changing up. I think my plan will be to stitch all of the alphabets in a blue. And, some of the things that, like the vines. So I stitched these vines in greens. So these are actually, what I have here so far are the called for colors. So the greens are in the 500 range, and then it's like 924 or 3750 or something for, I forget which one, for the alphabet. So far it's all the called for colors, but my plan is to use, for some of the alphabets that are a little bit larger, that have like crosses for the cross stitches, to use the variegated threads for those. And I'll just use various greens and blues throughout most of it. For some of the things, if it makes more sense, like for a flower, I'll throw in some pops of color by, including some pinks and yellows and maybe some purples and things like that, like throw in some other colors in those sorts of motifs that come up. But for the overall look of it, when you look at the overall project altogether, I really want it to be like all different shades of blues. So I'm just trying to build up my collection of overdyed threads to help make that a little bit easier. So I think that is all I have for cross stitch. What are you showing? Your picture you made? Yes. What does that say? Stitch. Oh, it does say stitch. It's hard to read it backwards on the screen. It'll flip it around when we post it. But it says stitch, very nice. And then you also have something else you want to show, right? We did a little bit of diamond painting together. You want to show these and help hold them up? So she has this little collection of diamond painting animals. They're actually stickers. So they just come, it's like sticker paper. So when you are done putting the diamonds on them, you can just peel it off. I don't know if you can see the edge, not really. But it's just like a regular sticker that you would peel off of this paper and then you can put it on whatever. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it kind of peels up the edge. There you go. Yep, you got it. So you can stick it on whatever. The directions show them. You can stick it on water bottles, on the front of a notebook, wherever you want to put it. So I don't think she's decided what she's going to do yet, but they're cute. They're fun. They're really easy to do if you...
Don't stick it on your pets, though.
No, don't stick it on your pet. If you have little kids in your life, these are nice because they're a quick finish. It's like doing a small versus, you know, in cross stitch versus doing like a big height or something. These are done super fast. You know, I think we did them in... We each did these bumblebees together, and it was probably, you know, 20 minutes, 15 minutes that it took us to do the whole thing. So if you have kids in your life who don't have the attention span to do like a big diamond painting, you can get little things like that. And then it's fun for them because they can stick them on wherever they want, on their school notebooks or whatever they want to put them on. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. For the upcoming week, I'm going to kind of stick to my schedule. I've got today's Freebie Friday, tomorrow's Seasonal Saturday, so I'll finish up June and then start working on Summer Sampler Banner again. Sunday is Santa Sunday. I'll work on Kringles. I think I'll make Monday my day to work on 101 alphabets. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be my 3 days bunched together to work on Maynia, which will be this one up here. And I should finish that up, I think, hopefully like Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. And then I'll switch and stitch on that summer little piece that I'm going to turn into the drum. So that's kind of my plan. Been doing a lot of new starts. I hope you enjoyed seeing them. I hope you're getting some stitching time and just making it through. Right now, my area of Virginia is still in phase 0 of quarantine. We're hoping that May 28th, things will be able to start opening up and we'll be able to move to phase 1, but we haven't heard anything about that for sure yet. So we're just gonna have a quiet Memorial Day weekend here at home and celebrate just with the 4 of us and have some cookouts. Hopefully it's pouring down rain right now. Hopefully the rain clears off enough that we can do some grilling and just have some family time together like we have been. So I hope you all are doing great. Take care, and I will see you again next time. Happy stitching, everybody.